Hello, PWA fans. Aaron Hurt here with you, ready to take you through another big edition of the broadcast. We are back in Zanesville again this time, coming to you from the Singer Center, of course, and we've got a tremendous main event lined up for you. Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly defending the PWA Heavyweight Championship against probably his toughest challenge since he captured that title back at Red, White, and Bruised, talking about Bjorn. You saw the contract signing just a few short weeks ago. It all goes down on tonight's program. But before we take it down to ringside, to join my broadcast colleague Carrington Carlucci, we're going to hear some comments from the participants in the main event of our last program, that big triple threat match to crown a new United States champion. So let's go to those right now. Here with a man who came up on the losing end of a triple threat match to declare a new United States champion, Jeffrey Johns. You've got...
Whoa. Aaron, for the last time, it is not Jeffrey Johns. I am Jeffrey John. You're going to get it right. All of the PWA fans are going to get it right. You see, that's the problem nowadays, is that I don't get any respect around here. I won the Battle Royal single-handedly. That U.S. title should have been mine. But then I got put in a three-way, supposedly. That was not a three-way. That was a 2-on-1 where I had to scratch and claw my way to at least the top. And then Tommy Forte got lucky. But you know what, Aaron? That's not going to last for long. You see, because at the end of the day, Jeffrey John oozes nothing but pure and solid confidence. And everybody, including you, Aaron, is going to see that very soon.
Well, Jeffrey John, still with a rather large chip on his shoulder. I'm sure several people in the locker room are lining up to knock it off. Fans, standing next to me is the jubilant, victorious Tommy Forte. As you can see, walked out of the triple threat match as the new PWA United States champion. Now, I saw from my vantage point, there were young fans in the front row with literal tears in their eyes at the sight of your victory. How does it feel for you accomplishing the goal that you set out to attain so many weeks ago, now becoming the new United States champion?
Let me tell you, Aaron Hurt, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. I have fought and I have clawed, trying to get my way to the top to get my shot for this PWA United States Championship. Now, I saw the emotions pouring out from all the children in the front row, even my kids, Aaron, and it did my heart good. And that's the reason I fight. That's the reason I show up. That's the reason I go hard, to make all of them happy. I'm just so excited, Aaron. U.S. champion. U.S. champion.
Well, as you can see, man, still with a lot of adrenaline, still can't wind down from the big victory. So what is next? Tell everybody out there, does Nick Stevens line up your next opponent? Do you have an open contract? Who gets the next shot at that championship?
Aaron, let me tell you, anybody that wants it, I'll tell you, Jimmy put up a strong fight. Jimmy Fahrenheit did. You know, he was cheated out there tonight. He can get the first shot if he wants it. Anybody that lines up, anybody that wants it, they can have it. I'm ready to party. Wapo section's waiting. Woo, we gotta get there. We gotta get going.
Well, far be it from me to keep you from the celebration, champ. Congratulations once again. Cannot wait to see what you do when you defend that title.
Greetings and salutations. This is 2K Carrington Carlucci. I will be joined by my broadcast colleague, Mr. Aaron Hurt, here in just a couple of minutes. Want to wait and welcome everybody, to the Premier Wrestling Alliance, PWA, in the house here in Zanesville. And we've got a great show for you, wrestling fans. Hope that you sit back and enjoy it. We just heard from Jeffrey John and the new United States champion, Tommy Forte. Sweet cream cheese on a go-kart. We have got an action-packed edition for you here. And we're going to kick it off with the Outlaw Tony James going one-on-one with a relative newcomer here to the PWA. the Wild Irish, Riley Rose. And there we take a look at Tony James. He's fired up, he's ready for action. Should be an outstanding contest. Don't know a whole lot about James's opponent. This Riley Rose, a relative newcomer here to the PWA. But from what all accounts say, he is a very, very good competitor. So this should be a very great match. See the fans here in Zanesville as we are live, ready to go for this matchup. I'm so excited for this edition. We've got a lot to talk about. And of course, that huge main event. We'll get to that here in just a moment, right after our commercial break.
Hello, PWA fans. My name is Aaron Hurt, here to tell you all about how you can keep up with PWA online. Just search PWA Ohio on Facebook or on YouTube, or check out PWAOhio.com for all of the latest information about upcoming events, the latest videos and highlights of past events, and interviews with your favorite PWA wrestlers. So make sure that you like and follow all of those pages. That's PWAOhio.com, PWA Ohio on Facebook, and PWA Ohio on YouTube. And follow along with all of us here from Premier Wrestling Alliance, and we hope to see you at the PWA Arena very soon.
Welcome back, wrestling fans, and welcome back to the broadcast position, Mr. Aaron Hurt. Aaron?
Glad to be with you for another week, Carrington. We are ready to get this particular event underway with the singles debut of the man you see entering the ring, Wild Irish Riley Rose, and could not have drawn a tougher opponent for his first match. The former the Outlaw Tony James, man who has held the U.S. Championship, most recently held the Tag Team Championships for nearly 9 months with franchise player Chris Pruitt. He's been known to slap a sugar holder too on a newcomer at the PWA Arena training facilities. So we'll see if he cuts this young man any slack. I highly doubt that.
Yeah, we're going to see, this is going to definitely be a stern test in the debut for Wild Irish Riley Rose, but he looks pretty put together, so we'll have to wait and see how he does.
This is not his first appearance on the program. He was in the Battle Royal that we held several episodes ago to determine new contenders for the United States Championship, the conclusion of which you saw last week with Tommy Forte, but he fared quite well in that melee and clearly caught the attention of the matchmakers to have earned this opportunity. Big scoop and a slam there. Gets a pinning combination. Tony James has been very aggressive as of late, somewhat temperamental, if you will, at least in my conversations with him.
He's definitely turned up the volume on the intensity, that's for sure.
Well, he hasn't lost a step. I think that he might be a little bit self-conscious about a number of things. I don't want to psychoanalyze the man, but we're definitely seeing a different attitude from him than we got used to seeing thus far in 2018. But it has not affected his capacity in the ring, as I said.
Well, Tony James has always been a guy who asks no quarter and gives no quarter. So, you know, this is just who this man is, and he's just a competitor.
And yeah, he would not be the sort to deliberately take liberties on an opponent. He would treat, this young man's getting the exact same treatment that any other man that steps in the ring with Tony James would get. But we're seeing a big belly-to-back suplex there. I think Riley Rose might just be a little bit outmatched. Yeah,
he's definitely getting schooled in this matchup.
Yeah, and perhaps Riley Rose will be able to look at this videotape, hopefully point out some things that maybe will help him in future matches. But right now, he's still in this one, comes up with a big cross body, gets a long 2 count. Definitely was very close to making me eat my words.
Yeah, I would think that we would definitely have to consider that an upset if he defeats Tony James here.
Yeah, James with the right hand to the gut definitely disrupted whatever plans Rose may have had. Irish whip, no pun intended. Up and over, big backdrop.
Definitely a lot of high impact. He's going to be feeling that tomorrow and probably a few days afterwards.
Well, and again, you know, what I was hinting at, Tony James showing the newcomer that there's, you know, nothing new about what he can do. But Tony's got him up in this big Argentinian backbreaker.
Thought we were going to see a submission right there for a moment.
Yeah, Rose finds his feet, but caught a lariat. I think that might have just put his lights out.
Yeah, this one's going to be over with. Benito, kiss the baby. It's over with.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Outlaw Tony James.
Well, fans, great way to start the program here. Big victory for Outlaw Tony James. We've got a lot more coming up. Don't forget about our big main event. Bjorn challenges Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly for the heavyweight championship. Fans, Aaron Hurt here with Josh 4x4 Jackson, newcomer to the scene in PWA. Been very successful in the matches that we've seen him in so far, but we haven't had much of an opportunity to get to know the man. So right now, I want you to talk to everybody out there that's watching this. Tell them what 4x4 Jackson is all about.
Well, my name's Josh 4x4 Jackson. I like slamming people. I like trucks. I like to work hard. I like to get her done.
Well, it sounds like you have found a home here in the PWA. Your partner, Mr. TCB, Cody Blaze, you guys have had some excellent matches so far. I know the sky is the limit for both of you here in the PWA. I want to thank you very much. And we'll see you out there next time PWA is in action near you. PWA fans, Aaron Hurt here with you. If you like what you are seeing on YouTube, then don't miss the opportunity to see the action live and in person. The first Saturday of every month at the PWA Arena, 737 Slocum Avenue in Lancaster. Premier Wrestling Alliance is in action, plus select dates in towns near you. Check out PWAOhio.com for tickets for not just the arena events, but all events. Arena events start at $5. And that's PWAOhio.com for all of your ticket information. Early in the broadcast, fans, you saw Tony James score an impressive victory over the newcomer, the Wild Irish Riley Rose. We're going to have to keep an eye on Tony James and his exploits in the remainder of 2018. But now we're going to go to ringside to my broadcast colleague, Carrington Carlucci, for our main event. Bjorn challenging Randy for that PWA Heavyweight Championship. Could very well be the toughest challenge that Randy has had to face yet since capturing that title back in July at Red, White, and Bruised. But let's not waste any more time, and let's go down to ringside for your main event.
Welcome back, wrestling fans. It is time for our main event, as arguably the most decorated athlete in the PWA, Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly, the PWA Heavyweight Champion, takes on his challenger, his nemesis, and maybe the biggest threat, and I won't even say it by size either. That's an overstatement. The biggest threat to his championship reign in the Nordic Nightmare Bjorn. This one is going to be a colossal showdown. I've been anticipating this particular matchup ever since that it was announced. This truly will be a clash for the ages, wrestling fans. We talk about Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly. He is the only man in the history of this promotion to simultaneously hold the PWA United States and Heavyweight Championship. He is the only, from what I understand, Triple Crown winner here. The only guy to hold the Heavyweight title, the United States title, and a full holder of the PWA Tag Team Championship. But there we see the challenger, the mighty Colossus that is Bjorn. And don't let the somewhat different looking outfit, something that you wouldn't see in the everyday catalog of men's clothing fool you. This guy is the definition of destruction.
And his opponent, wrestling tonight at a weight of 301 pounds, coming to us from the hills of West Virginia, your reigning and defending PWA Heavyweight Champion, Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly.
And listen to that ovation for the champ. What a matchup this is going to be. As I said a moment ago, it can't be overstated how excited I am to be getting the opportunity to call this bad boy, because this one may shape up to be the best PWA heavyweight title match in the history of this promotion. Aaron Hurt, welcome back to the broadcast position.
I heard your comments as I was getting resituated here. You're absolutely right that this could be the most anticipated main event in months on the program. Certainly the most difficult challenge for Randy since he captured this title at Red, White, and Bruised, and part of the reason it was such a mountain for him to climb, no pun intended, is that this man he will be facing tonight, Bjorn, was the hired gun of our now general manager, Nick Stevens, in a plot obviously concocted by former champion Gary Gandy to cost Randy that opportunity. Randy had to defend the heavyweight championship at the beginning of Red, White, and Bruised, and was brutally assaulted by Bjorn afterwards, had to make his way to the hospital for treatment, and somehow made it back in time to overcome not just the injuries, but Gary Gandy and in his 8-month reign. So this is something that has been inevitable since that very day.
Well, the one thing you can say about Randy is he is a fighting champion. This is, what, his 4th title defense of the heavyweight title?
Yes, he has, since capturing the title, defended successfully against the likes of Southern Knight Brian Blade, against the former champion 5-star Gary Gandy, who has bigger issues in his camp having to deal with Wicked Will. I think that Randy can put him in the rearview mirror for the time being. And then Jason Andrews, who give him credit for stepping up to the plate when he was perhaps outmatched, or at least out of his weight class. But there's no question about this being a battle of the two big heavyweights right here. 430 pounds of Bjorn, the Scandinavian monster, against Randy, clocking in at just over 300. The fans are on the edge of their seats. I am too. This is going to be fantastic now that the bell is gone. You see the two men circle, size each other up. Bjorn is not somebody to be taken lightly. He's not the perhaps oafish person that, you know, he may seem on the surface. He's quite intellectual and quite cunning in the way he approaches the wrestling business.
And he's actually not what you would consider you use the word oafish. I would also say that to his wrestling technique. This guy actually moves like, I won't say a cruiserweight, but a man half his size.
Absolutely. The swiftness and the agility that he displays is remarkable to behold at times when it's combined with the power and the strength that he possesses seemingly quite naturally. But Randy has never found an opponent that he was intimidated by on those parameters and those terms.
Oh, absolutely not. Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly will absolutely not back down from a fight. It doesn't matter.
I think that for both men, they're going to want to try to end the match early. If this goes past 15 minutes, then you're getting into deep water in terms of the gas, the conditioner. I would give Randy the edge in that regard, just because we've seen him survive more times than we have seen Bjorn push to that limit. But
I was just going to say I would have to concur on that point, because one, he's not carrying around the mass that the big man Bjorn, and not to say that Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly is a small man, because as you said, he's pushing 300 pounds, but he is the lighter of the two.
But he does rely on a lot of power maneuvers, which will require significant exertion. You know, it's going to be a lot harder to get Bjorn up for a power slam than perhaps Jason Andrews, to state the obvious. But we see the chain wrestling here, as we said, you know, atypical to what a fan seeing PWA for the first time might have thought on their first impression. But Bjorn knows how to wrestle, delivering those shoulders right in there, trying to isolate and injure a body part in the early going of the match.
Absolutely. I mean, Randy also likes to use those power moves. He likes to use a lot of moves where he lifts his opponent, and I imagine he's strong enough to get the big man off his feet for, say, a power slam.
But neither one of them are going for anything risky so far. You've seen Randy, he went to the hammerlock, he went to the side headlock. Oh, neither man took any seemingly ill effect from that particular collision.
I was just going to say, Bjorn wisely working on both arms, though, to negate the power game here in the early going.
Definitely. And Bjorn has, as we said, he's been stalking Randy for what amounts to months now. So he has had ample time to contemplate what he might do when the opportunity presented itself. And you see the big clubbing blow right between the shoulder blades takes Randy down to a knee.
And nothing finesse there. That's just raw bone.
But he continues the pressure. This is stomps on the hand. Definitely something that the referee should warn Bjorn about. I honestly think that one referee might not be enough to mitigate the action if it gets out of hand here. And
certainly with the importance of the PWA heavyweight title being on the line here, if the action gets out of hand, you want to make sure that there is a clear-cut decision in this match.
I will say that, Randy avoids the big charge, builds up head of steam of his own, and connects with a huge running clothesline. Looks like he's favoring the ankle, perhaps. Maybe he stepped awkwardly. But not there the second time. But I was about to comment on the fact that Nick Stevens deserves credit for building this match properly, for allowing the formality of a contract signing to take place and not simply unleashing Bjorn on Randy when it was most advantageous for the challenger. So to see this be a straight-up one-on-one match that presumably will be decided in the center of the ring is quite satisfying, although I wouldn't use the same terms to describe what Randy's feeling right now. His weekend plans are certainly going to be changed.
Yeah, I got to say, this one, if he isn't careful, he might be wrestling this in a somewhat of a handicap match because he may not be able to use his lower half.
Absolutely, and that kind of injury is something that disrupts your thought process almost entirely, that you're just focused on getting your bearings.
Yeah, and it also helps you hit those high notes.
Yeah, well, I don't think either one of these guys are going to be mistaken for choir boys. Big splash, all 430 pounds.
This is going to be it right here.
Perhaps if he would have hooked the leg, he might have gotten the victory right there. We saw Randy favor, I believe it was his left leg just a few short moments ago in this match. But we're seeing a methodical pace from both men. As we said, something that shows the game planning that went into this. Neither man taking the other lightly, but Bjorn also going to try to bend every rule possible, using the middle rope to choke. You know just as well as I do, that's not a rope. That's a steel cable wrapped in a garden hose, more or less.
Yeah, and I think Randy is hurt. He's hurt badly. I think he may have, it's a possibility, obviously. I'm no doc and I don't have x-ray eyes, but he could have internal injuries after that.
Yeah, a groin injury, a leg injury, injury to the shoulder, but he's fighting through it. He's firing back with all he's got now. This big surge of adrenaline has Bjorn retreating back to a neutral corner, if you will. Oh, overhand chop.
Good grief, what a chop.
Oh, the sound just reverberates all throughout the Singer Center here in Zanesville. We're proud to be back for a second time this year. Randy builds up another big head of steam. Nothing subtle about that, just using that hip to deliver all the impact he can. Big clothesline. Got the big man off his feet now. Where do you think we stand in this match as we're getting into about the 8 or 9 minute mark?
Well, I think we're definitely at a stalemate so far, but I think the next person, whether it be Bjorn or Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly, to hit a big, high-impact move, probably will end up being the winner in this one.
Oh, it's Bjorn who comes up with the clothesline out of nowhere. Looked staggered, looked to be finally feeling the effects of the offense of Randy, but a battle cry, and now the menacing stalking of Randy tells me that this match is far from over. looks to be cinching the man up here with a front face lock. I take that back. They're going to the corner here. What does Bjorn need to do to put Randy away at this point?
I will go back to what I stated a moment ago. I mean, he needs to keep the foot on the gas. He needs to hit something big because I got to tell you, Randy is hurt, and he is hurt bad.
Yeah, and taking that moment to step out of the corner, draw with the referee, could have been a vital waste of time there. As you see, he got a 2.5.
Not a textbook butterfly, but a modified butterfly suplex on the takeover. And
but now he's going back to that arm.
yes, and this is the one thing you do not want to wrestle a match on your back against a guy like Bjorn.
The only thing that Randy has in his favor is his height. I mean, being 6'4", and we've seen him do a Shawn Michaels-esque tip-up. That much as we marvel at Bjorn's athleticism, Randy has the same surprising tendency to pull out something we've never seen before. But as long as he's trying to fight from his back, he's fighting an uphill battle. Stomps away. Oh, that could have very easily dislocated the elbow.
Aaron, what I'm seeing right here is a physical decimation of the PWA heavyweight champion by the Nordic Nightmare Bjorn.
What we're seeing is the most effective strategy any one of Randy's opponents since he captured the title being employed here. Randy puts on the brakes. Got to think. Didn't quite get him all the way off his feet for the black hole slam, but significant amount of impact. But you got to think what he had to exert just to get the man's momentum going that direction and get him off his feet.
And you got to remember, he's wrestling with a bad arm. Bjorn's been working on those arms most of this matchup. He probably didn't have the strength to grip him completely for the.
Yeah, Randy grasping for the assistance of the ropes to make it back to his feet, as is Bjorn. Senior referee Johnny Long putting a 10 count on both men. I would hate to see the match end this way, but would not be a shocking result by any means with the way that these two men have fought in a match that we're well past 10 to 12 minutes into this match so far. I think this might be the longest singles match I have had the opportunity to see from Bjorn in his time in the PWA. Usually he is out the door long before this point of the match.
And I think at this point it now comes not maybe down to conditioning. Yes, certainly it does that to a certain extent, but it is the mental, the will to win.
Absolutely. This is when the heart and the determination kicks in, and you see it coming out from Randy right now with that big overhand chop, the kick to the knee, the headbutt. Big running mafia kick. Just pounding away, firing away with right hands to the midsection.
Yeah, nothing pretty here from the champ, but he is just being very effective as he's got the big man hurt and he's got him over in the corner.
Well, we have certainly dropped all pretenses of a wrestling match because this is degenerated into a back alley brawl, and that's the way Randy's going to have to go about things to survive. He could already have numerous injuries, as we've said. I'm sure at this point it's just adrenaline.
I was going to say, I was about to ask you, Aaron, is he serious right here, trying to do a suplex after the punishment that he sustained?
Yeah, it got it reversed, but you see how much it took out of Bjorn in the process. And you pointed out that this is going to come down to a big, high-impact maneuver. Neither man is going to be easily pinned. I don't think you will ever see either man submit. I think that's pretty much out the window at this point. This is getting to a very crucial point for both men. Who can pull it together first? Who can? Randy's still down. I mean, I'm in awe. I'm in shock. I know we're both practically speechless at watching this action.
This is incredible action. Everything that the PWA fans demand out of a heavyweight championship match, they are getting in this confrontation.
Yeah, that's what PWA has made its mission and its goal to make sure that this is the caliber of match that we have, especially in the title situation. So many other promotions rely on gimmickry and stipulations to entice the fans, and this is all about two men slugging it out to see who's the best, who's the tougher man who can walk out and claim the championship.
Right hand to the jaw. That previous headbutt looked like it caught him right on the bridge of the nose. And here comes Randy, the Rowdy Hillbilly.
Looks like he's got Bjorn rocked. That one of those right hands might have caught him squarely on the jaw. Now going back to those body shots. Another hip attack in the corner. Oh, but again, Bjorn able to dodge the charge from Randy. And you see the fact that
He's not serious right here.
Well,
this will squash him. Randy won't be nothing but a grease spot.
Could we see a bonsai drop, or is he going for a Vader bomb? Whatever he's done, he's taken far too long because Randy's back to his feet.
I was going to say, I don't think Bjorn realizes that Randy's no longer there.
Oh, look at this. There's no way. Oh, my goodness.
Power bomb out of the corner. Where did he get the power for that, Aaron Hurt?
He got the 430-pounder up in the air, out of the corner, slammed him dead center of the ring. If only he could reach out for a pinning attempt, we might see him retain his title right here, but Bjorn wisely rolls to the outside.
Did the smart thing. He felt the momentum shift. I think he's got to take the unofficial timeout in the world of professional wrestling, go outside, collect himself, get his head together, maybe catch his breath a moment, and then reassess the situation and see what he's going to come back to try to do to win this matchup.
Absolutely. Referee up to 5 gives Randy time to collect his bearings as well. He imploring the referee to let the match continue in the ring and not count out Bjorn. Randy's not even going to give him a chance to get back in. He knows very well that the second man in is the one at the disadvantage, but I spoke too soon.
I don't think the referee would have caught that right there. If he did, that might have been an automatic disqualification.
Absolutely. And even so, I don't think that would have stopped the fight.
No, I don't think either one of these two.
Oh my goodness, look at this, up and over. Wow. What an amazing dive from Randy, cleared the top rope. The surge of adrenaline, this has got to be at least his 3rd or 4th wind in this match. We're not talking about a 2nd wind. And he's taken everything that the monster Bjorn has been able to dish out, and he's still in this fight.
But to his credit, Bjorn too is on his feet.
And now we might be at a point where I don't know if this match can be contained. This seems like this has gotten completely out of control.
This is broken down here. It's coming down to a Donnybrook.
Well, no matter how this match ends up, I'm certain that nothing's been settled between these two men. Big forearm. Referee putting the count on both men. Oh! Bjorn rolls back in.
And I think Randy might have gotten counted out.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by countout, Bjorn.
And that's exactly what has happened. Bjorn has won this match.
Still the PWA Heavyweight Champion, Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly.
Bjorn has won the match by a countout.
What an astonishing result. Randy back on his feet, clearly not beaten.
He's going to go home with the championship, but the issues between these two men are far from being settled.
I hope Nick Stevens has already drawn up the paperwork for the rematch, because there's no way that we can let things end with such an inconclusive result.
And I'm hoping for a rematch, because if the rematch is half as good as what this matchup was, then we are in for something special, Aaron Hurt.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait till another edition of the broadcast to discuss such things, because we're just about out of time here.
The PWA Heavyweight Champion, Randy the Rowdy Hillbilly.
We are just about out of time here. We're going to go back to the studio for a brief wrap-up, but thank you, Mr. Carlucci, for joining me once again.
Oh, it was my pleasure, sir.
Fantastic main event. Another great episode. Thank you all for joining us. We'll have more action just like this the next time we're back on YouTube with PWA Wrestling. But we're going to let the viewers out there take a look at the reigning champion, Randy, with his title and that bone Bjorn brings to the ring. So at least some spoils to go with the victory. On behalf of my broadcast partner, that'll do it from ringside. Stick around, fans. We'll be back after this. Startling conclusion to the main event. Bjorn the victor by countout, but of course, not the way that you capture a championship in the PWA. So Randy still has that title, but by no means is the issue settled between those two gentlemen. But unfortunately, we're out of time on this edition. I want to thank you for joining us. But next time, we are going to be back for yet a third straight week of action from the Singer Center in Zanesville. A huge six-man tag match to bring to you. Wicked Will, formerly at the side of Gary Gandy, now going to be on the opposite side of a six-man tag when he teams up with the Crazy Hillbillies in the form of John D. and Juan, and they face Gary Gandy and the current tag team champions, Morgan Taylor and L.A. Cordova. So that's on tap for next time. That'll do it for us this time, fans. But if you like what you have seen, tell a friend, share this with all of the wrestling fans that you know. Make sure that everybody knows that PWA is the fastest growing promotion in the Midwest. Show them why this is the place to be, PWA on YouTube.